Hold your hood and leave you holding your breath. Words. Ideologically, not materializing things in the ambience of thought, in parables with our experience, become a force of emotion. Groupings of words create a mixture of these emotions. Certain words create purity of the emotion. To use those words purely to solve the other is a balance. Creating it, the experience we are having. We, us, they, with us, calmly, to discuss those words in the purest language that created it, the experience. How those beings became what they are today. How this experience is involved with it to sit calmly, not too emotional about where it's going, because that is attached to its knowing. If it's angry, that's because of fear, which is a way of describing the characteristic that is involved with a truth, which is a characteristic of something, the experience, in its factual state. That is a balance which you, as the fulcrum, will weigh through this experience that it is. The idea is malleable with the words. Your emotion, give the words that soothe. So when you speak about things that hurt us, they know now. You are learning. We know now that I was learning, am learning, have learned that sits well in its silence. When it accepts that and its truth to sit down like a good friend in a room, like I'm doing now, with it, the experience, the whole experience, and nothing but that experience now, to tell you how this felt in a place that no longer fights, because it does not need to now. We have developed with you, with us, with them, in this experience together, the ability to see that the pattern is the same on this side as it is on this side. The only one that would have affected that differently would have been the one who chose one side at a time, favored one or the other, favored one or the other. If you set one on this side, then you have to set the other one on that side. This side went down first. If you set them perfectly, let's say in the softest way, and nothing was moved, and they set perfectly at the same time, it's still you coming to this moment. But that's something you do at the end when you're done having the conversations with the ones that hurt you, weighing out the differences. Since there are none, what you're weighing is a distortion in the information, because if you favored one side or the other for too long, that information had to be settled, which means it teetered for a moment. It's as if the acoustic era heard its first power chord. For the first time, it's just settling with its differences. There isn't one, it's still doing the same thing. It's you balancing the world in its experience that it is. Not holding your breath, able to use these words intelligently with us, our children, my kids, your life, my wife, my parents, my grandparents, great-grandparents, your grandparents, their grandparents, its grandparents, its parent, apparently. Just needed to remember, you are balancing life with your experience. If the experiences are different, that's because we are. The only one that could balance it perfectly is you, and that's at the end of this. Silence is not a bad thing. If I'm explaining it, you truly do not know. You are not me. I am not you. However, it is us, and it is the experience. To take an emotion, like I just did, because I'm processing something there, and I'm showing you. That A, you need to have the conversation, so words are good. B, to have this conversation, you control your emotions, which is intelligent. It's wise because those who earned that wisdom had to fight for it. They had to fight for it. They learned some things along the way. You are the only one that can balance your fulcrum in life. To be the center means you're settled. The only perfect settle is at the end of it. So while we're enjoying what we know we are able to do without words, it is because of that ability that we are able to create good feelings out of the conversation, because you are applying good feelings from an idea that isn't the idea itself. To simplify it, it's not the letter itself to simplify it. It's not the one to simplify it. However, you are controlling that now. Whatever that was. All of those things, it is. Also equally it is something else. That is. And it is the experience learning that you need that experience. So don't take someone else's experience, if you would, to hurt others, if you've done that. You're a bully. And bullies sometimes don't realize they're bullies because they finally got the best of their world that they were bullied in. And meanwhile, the bullies see that, well, that wasn't a good option coming in, but they become the better part of you, looking at you like, well, I liked who you were. Why did you become like me? Well, you became like them because you were blending in, you see. And if you want to break out of that, you go back to that part, but let's go forward because they're over here with us too. They are you. They already did that. They got through that. They don't like being bullies, so they're doing what they gotta do to make up for it, to tear down. Okay? Guilt speaks for itself. If you're balancing things, it balances itself through you. If you're attached to it, that's your choice, not ours, not theirs, not this one's, not its, yours, you. That's your choice alone. It's also my choice to tell you, you have no right to give that to me. I already gave that to myself perfectly. I won't own it for you like that again. If you want to own it like that for yourself, please do. That's how I got here, like this, free from that. And to explain it, that's just medicine for the mind. It's acetone for a dirty penny. We're shining you up. It's just the idea. We'll be fine. That's currency for the heart. It was all in your head. But comparatively, the experience has you feeling it too. Like emotion. That is what I grew with my experience with you. These words, intelligently, to be emotionally sound. I am. Not holding my breath. Owning these words intelligently too. But if I hold my breath, that's okay. If I don't hold my breath, that's okay. Get it? It's okay. that I do what I'm doing today. Breathing is good. That's enough. No more judgment. As I said, it speaks for itself. I don't like it. I know why. You don't like it. I know why. We don't like it. I know why. They don't like it. I know why. It doesn't like it. I know why. So silence will do. Then, if I choose to speak, it is because for my own good pleasure I may. I didn't come to be silent today if I had to. I must have been guilty for doing something. I know I did, yet though I didn't, because of how I put it together, you would say I did that to you. How dare you? All of you. Again, I won't let you do that to me. Your judgment. To judge something freely without emotion means to observe, to measure, to rule, proportions. So, if someone gets big enough to be that Bowery, when they're doing this, because they get off on it, little men's gonna have to pay for them crimes. They do. In the best way possible. So, once they accept it, it's over. Once it's over, they get chances to express themselves through the experience, to not be Boweries, to see that innocence becomes bullied, becomes bullies, becomes innocence, to tell themselves, the Boweries who were in the beginning, that innocence don't deserve it, because I deserve it. This is what I'm going to do, because my parents learned it. And then I'm going to give it to these innocent ones that become Boweries, that stay Boweries, that still are bound in here, while I become the best part of them and say, you are this because I did this to you. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. That's how it worked. That I will not allow. Ever again. Unless this experience gives you purpose for that. Now, I personally have not. It may have. So back to the balance. If I set it down perfectly, it's because I've settled with all of this information, going forward and backwards at the same time, to settle happily in its silence, knowing I am capable to give you. Breaking those rules. No rules. That won't do that the way you did before, because all I'm doing is measuring, observing. I accept it. The pain, all of that. All I need is the facts. Since I have it, you'll get it when we're done.